With industries under pressure to cut costs,
AI can come in a big way in optimizing logistics.
If you see supply chain optimization, which again have a very huge impact on the profitability of an enterprise as well as the sustainability.
manufacturing today stands at a critical crossroads. On one hand, it drives economic growth. On other, it contributes nearly 30% of global greenhouse gas emissions. Supply chains that once prioritized speed and cost must now also deliver on resilience, responsibility, and sustainability. However, the good news is the transformation is already underway. From energy transition and waste reduction to AI-driven digital twins and simulation-first design, industries are rewriting the rules of efficiency. Leaders like Thermax, Dassault Systems are proving that sustainability is no longer just a compliance, it's a powerful competitive advantage. In today's episode, we explore how clean energy solutions, global supply chain strategies, and next-generation digital twins are shaping a future that is smarter, cleaner, and more resilient. Today, we are joined by Mr. Ashish Bhandari, who is the MD and CEO of Thermax Limited, and Mr. Tanuj Mittal, who is Senior Sales Director at Dassault Systems India. And let's explore what they have to say about this. Hello and welcome to India Leadership Talks. Today we are joined by Mr. Ashish Bhandari, who is MD and CEO of Thermax, and Mr. Tanuj Mittal, who is Senior Director at Dassault Systems India. Welcome to the India Leadership Talk series. Thank you so much for joining us today. Mr. Bhandari, I would like to understand from you, Thermax as a company, is being trusted partner for energy transition, and with industries under pressure to cut cost, emissions, at the same time achieving sustainability and efficiency in the industrial ecosystem. How do you see this transition happening?
Okay. So for countries like India and for companies that are part of this Indian ecosystem, energy sustainability and energy availability both are very, very big needs. In a country where our own energy needs are growing by 8% plus annually, the question is not just about how are we going to get this energy, but also how do we get this sustainably. So the energy transition question becomes a very, very important question. And it is this energy transition question that is driving companies like Thermax to be this bridge between energy availability and sustainability. Across our entire portfolio is a host of solutions that are exactly around that particular question. How do we be a partner for energy transition? I'll share a very, very simple example. There's a big, one of the biggest names in the food industry, which traditionally would have used a fossil fuel-based plant to, as it looks to put up plants all across India for noodles specifically, would have used fossil fuels. Working with us, they switched from fossil fuels to biomass. So we have now set up at 4 of their plants, 8 biomass boilers. These biomass boilers are put in by Thermax, sourced, or the fuel is sourced by Thermax. It changes based on the geography. So we work with farmers, local FPOs, etc., to source biomass locally. We operate these plants for the customer, and the customer pays on the output that we deliver with guarantees, high guarantees, performance driven. What does the customer get out of this? The customer saves money. So annually, we think we're saving them close to 40 to 50 crores across the 4 plants. We save significantly on the carbon footprint side. In just these 4 plants, the amount of carbon footprint that we are saving is equivalent to putting all of Delhi in forest cover. Yeah. So it's a great example of providing energy, doing it sustainably, doing it profitably as well. And a good amount of solution set exists in these kinds of solutions. Of course, not everything. You cannot achieve 100% energy transition and say, I won't spend any additional money. But a good amount of solutions are in this area where sustainability and availability go hand in hand.
Nice. Tanuj, simulation-led designing and manufacturing is transforming the industry. How companies like Dassault are helping, different companies basically to validate their digital process and supply chains before deployment.
Well, Deepanshu, thank you very much for having me here. Dassault System, our mission is to provide a virtual universe to customers wherein they can think of new ideas, give shape to them, design, produce, analyze, and test and validate it before they eventually manufacture it. So, when you create a virtual twin, either of the factory or of the enterprise or of the systems and processes, including the supply chain, this helps humongously to the people in order to validate what they are thinking, do various what if scenarios before they actually put it in play in the ground. This eliminates a lot of waste in the process, and that is how it has a good impact on sustainability. So, whatever ideas related to sustainability you have in your mind, they can be validated in virtual twin. So, that is the commitment we bring into the customers.
Mr. Bhandari would like to understand from you about your industrial product business basically spans process around heating, water and waste pollution control. How are these solutions are enabling industries to reduce waste and recycle resources and stay compliant while improving the cost efficiency?
As I said, our entire business model, not just industrial products across the board, is around the themes of how do we make energy cleaner, how do we provide cleaner water, and similarly cleaner air. Yep. So the three businesses that you talked about are around those themes. Within those business units, we address all customers across the archetype of India's industrial businesses. So on the smaller end, smaller installations, the customers themselves are big. Food and beverage, which I gave an example of, pharmaceuticals, textiles, tires, ethanol sector, and then at the other end, the hard to abate industries of petrochemical, fertilizers, refining, steel, cement. So Thermax addresses all of these customers. Across all of these customers, the themes around how do I save energy costs? So waste heat recovery, a big solution set for variety of different customers. Thermax has got solutions to take waste heat in any process, whether it's a large cement plant or it's a smaller paint shop in a chemical plant or an automotive plant. We would have solutions across the set. Similarly, this move towards biomass and bioenergy is a big move, because biomass in general takes today's agro waste and converts that into energy. Similarly, we've got solutions for taking waste paper, wet paper, which would today be wasted. How do I bring that into energy? And finally, solutions around energy efficiency, etc. One specific example that is again interesting is coming up with heat pumps, which are high temperature heat pumps. These are unique technologies which very few companies in the world have capability for. So we take applications where customer would be providing steam and then losing energy in converting that steam into water, because a customer, what they need is high temperature water. There's a chemical industry customer, which is a prototype. There are numerous such applications. We have developed heat pumps to give to the customer water at 110 degrees. So in heating that water, you use a heat pump concept, which is a hybrid heat pump, unique technology that Thermax has capability for. And by doing this, the customer gets exactly what they need, no wasted energy. So the equipment is relatively cheaper. Energy costs are 20 to 30%, and you save other tertiary costs as well, because it's got lower maintenance, lower overall process improvement that we can deliver. In some ways, our entire company, whether we've got numerous solutions on saving water for our customers, recycling that water, these solutions range from commercial buildings, hospitals, hotels, to large industrial plants where we provide zero liquid discharge solutions while using the least amount of energy that is possible. So as India looks to become more sustainable, conserve water, conserve air, conserve energy, Thermax is very focused on developing solutions that will meet our customers' needs, not just for today, but even 10 years from now.
We are in a very interesting time right now. Energy transition and digital adoption is happening at a rapid pace and both happening at the same time. So, where do you see the biggest wins happening in terms of when sustainability is intersecting the technologies like AI transformation, everything? So, Bhandari, first of all, would like to take your views and then Tanuj will.
Sure. Across the board, yeah, and the two go hand to hand. Numerous applications in almost every aspect of business that you can think of. I'll share three examples. We have a business for renewables called First Energy Private Limited, where we provide solar, wind, storage related solutions on energy. There, AI can come in and is already coming in to help with forecasting models. It is much better than humans at predicting what will be the actual wind energy generated, solar energy generated. So then you can marry AI with some of the actual physical systems to do grid balancing, minimize clipping. So you're able to provide more power. In our traditional set of solutions where we provide boilers, as an example, we are bringing in AI to improve efficiency of these boilers, improve uptime, to do early fault identification, provide small insights that help the equipment run better. And every 1 to 2% that you deliver in efficiency improvement has got huge impact at the end. If we take at the back end of our operations, AI can come in a big way in optimizing logistics. Yeah, through our various operations, we interact with and manage logistics at a very large scale. This represents not just a big cost to us, but money spent in fuel, which then has a big impact on sustainability and on our carbon footprint. By bringing AI to optimize all of these, we save costs, and then we help improve sustainability and improve efficiency of our operations as well. Digital and sustainability can go hand in hand in practically every part of business that you can think of. And I think today we are just scratching the surface on what is possible over the next 1 to 5 years and for the foreseeable future. There'll be numerous big applications that will come about. And I was talking just a short while ago about some such applications, even on the operations side.
For me, AI is a digital tool which is an enabler for progressing the sustainability agenda. But more importantly, this cultural shift also needs to be there where we are consciously trying to leverage these tools for furthering this agenda of sustainability. Tools are capable, but they need to be deployed consciously for us to get any benefit. If I have to highlight a few examples, one would be related to maintenance and upkeep of equipments. So far, we have been doing breakdown maintenance, planned maintenance, but now we are going towards predictive maintenance, where monitoring the behavior of machines and equipments over a period of time, you are able to analyze when next it is going to fail and take preemptive actions, not to let the plant shut down because of these small things. This has a huge saving and also a good impact on sustainability. Similarly, if you see supply chain optimization, which again have a very huge impact on the profitability of an enterprise as well as the sustainability score. Even supply chain optimization, how do you commonize your suppliers? How do you do the logistic in such a way which is the most optimum way of putting things in place, not using maximum resources? So there are numerous examples where AI can be leveraged, but then this needs to be done in a planned and conscious manner.
How often do you see that traditional companies are adopting these kind of technologies in a rapid pace, specifically when you talk about AI and digital twins? And how are you helping their engineering teams to adopt them faster and to test the simulation first center kind of thing?
It is about democratizing the technology, for example. And of course, we need to have leaders like Thermax who will show the way to the industry. Industry usually is very quick to adopt if they see early success demonstrated by somebody. At the engineering level, it is more about democratizing the technology. For example, we have a concept called ModSim. Earlier, if you have to do simulation, It is a sequential process where designer will design something first, then it goes to simulation. Simulation engineers test it and give it back to designers to further optimize. And this is an iterative process. But with ModSim approach, where design and simulation happens on a single process, the designer itself has the capability during the design process itself to see what impact it will have on the sustainability. What will be the wastage? What will be the over design elements when he is designing itself? So that when the design lands with simulation team, it is already quite optimized. So we squeeze the process, we reduce the resources deployed in this process, and we save ultimately for the organization.
Efficiency, sustainability, productivity, all these buzzwords, are only applicable when it is an industry-wide collaboration. It is not just between a technology partner or a company, but also goes beyond the suppliers and the ecosystem. How do you see, Mr. Bhandari, these things happening at your end? And how do you ensure this broad-based adoption happens entire value chain?
I agree with you entirely that these are ecosystem transformations that have to happen. And for every company, some of it, of this, you manage and you own. Lot of it, you also depend on the various partners that you have. Partners, customers, various other stakeholders as well. One of the biggest ones that you referred to is our vendors. And as Thermax, we deal with thousands of vendors, most of whom are MSME vendors. The Pradhan Mantri in his 15th August speech referred to the ZED program. It is a very well designed program which is specifically around working with vendors, MSME ones, around improving quality, improving efficiency and sustainability. It's called zero effect, zero defect. The defect part focuses on quality and efficiency to some extent. Zero effect talks about not harming our environment in any way. So being most sustainable as you go around delivering your product. Thermax is working with a big portion of our vendor base, 1,000 plus, in getting them through the ZED process. We have got trainers, we are doing bronze certifications, silver, gold through the entire chain. We do sustainability benchmarking of our vendors. We provide platforms for them to learn from Thermax's best ways. We track how much we source from sustainable vendors, high quality vendors, and with an intent that we want to give more and more business to those vendors, especially MSMEs, that are able to walk this journey of quality and sustainability along with this. And especially as with tools and technologies coming in, for example, one of our biggest initiatives is a digital procurement tool where all our vendors come on one tool, one platform, and we can manage their entire journey of improvement through that platform as well. Use that as a way to interact with them, not only give them orders, but manage sustainability and efficiency related programs as well. So a lot has to be done, but a lot has to be done for our own survival as well. Yeah, the only way Thermax can be relevant is if all our vendor base is also relevant.
How has been the overall mindset when it comes to the overall adoption, broad-based adoption that we are talking about?
So in order for the ecosystem to participate in this journey, there are a couple of barriers which we have to break. First is, of course, the upfront investment which usually comes up with these kind of technologies. Second would be how easily it can be deployed. Not everybody can wait for months together to reap the benefit of deployment. And third element is skill. Do we have those skill sets in place to use these technologies? Now, the first two is taken care. For example, from our side, we have brought most of our technologies on cloud, which means it is cheaper compared to on-prem setup, and you don't have to invest in hardware. And second, it is ready to use. So the day you decide, the next day onwards, you can start using the technology. On the third important element, which is skill development, we have partnered with government and private universities to ensure that these technologies are there available for students and faculties. We run the train the trainer programs. We also do a lot of talks and discussions with students for them to update on these technologies. Once they graduate, they already have a mind share. They already have certain level of enablement in place for them to go to enterprises and start using this technology. But then learning is a continuous process. So we try to partner wherever the opportunity offers for us to further this agenda of skill development.
So, Bhandari, last question to you on, you know, how are these things being viewed in the boardroom? How are boardroom decisions being made? Largely because we are moving at a very rapid pace that we were discussing before the interview as well. How do you see this whole transition, rapid phase adopting? Because traditional companies are little, because they have their investments done, they are not really agile enough to change.
So for companies like Thermax, it's a matter of our survival. Yeah, entire business is that of energy. And so our innovation in all these areas of energy transition through all the bets that we are making. Yeah, we are one of the biggest providers of just the shift on biomass, which is a relatively new shift for the entire industry over this last 5 to 8 years. In hydrogen, in every portion of the hydrogen value chain, Thermax is making big investments in sustainable aviation fuels, bio-CNG, carbon capture. Yeah, we are not only making R&D investments, we're setting up demonstration plants, we are working on digital specifically. Our investment in digitals is perhaps the fastest portion where we are growing internally in terms of our cost basis. 5 years ago, if we were at 0.5% of our revenue, when we were say at X, today our revenue base is more than 2X, and our digital is about 1.2% of our revenue. So our investments in digital have gone up by 4 to 5X in this particular period, knowing that this is very critical to our future. And in many parts of our business, we are working like agile startups here. Products that we are working to release are coming into market extremely, extremely quickly. As far as the board goes, this is easily the most important board topic right now in terms of how do you be a partner in energy transition, what is the role of digital, how do you deliver efficiency for our customers, how do you reach out to your customers to share that you have all of these solutions and these capabilities. And these customers are not just for India, but in many, many markets. Yeah? And today our aspiration is also to be global with these solutions and capabilities.
Thank you so much for joining us today at the India Leadership Talks.
Thank you. Absolutely a pleasure.
As we have already heard today, efficiency and sustainability are no longer separate goals. They're converging into a shared vision for the future of manufacturing. From Thermax clean energy innovation to Dassault simulation first strategies, the path forward is clear: resilient supply chains, reduced carbon footprints, and smarter operations. This conversation highlights the collaboration across industries, suppliers, and policy ecosystems will be the real driver of change. I would like to thank my speakers and our audience for joining us on this journey towards a sustainable, competitive, and future-ready manufacturing landscape.